Hello again, everyone. Uh, this is a replay of a game I literally just played in the Benson. I've been regrinding the American DD line, and my first time through was a long time ago, and I really struggled in my first run through with the Benson. And now that I've learned a lot more about proper DD play, in particular how to exploit the strengths and avoid some of the weaknesses of the USN DD line, I've been having a lot of fun with the Benson. This is just, man, this is a great ship. I hated it the first time through. This is going to stay in my port for a long time. And this is not a particularly strong game in terms of damage dealt or in terms of the getting a lot of kills or plane kills or anything really flashy. I'm including this game just to illustrate some of what I've learned from better players and in my own experience with regard to how to play these USN ships, and in particular how to play the Benson. So I get an unfortunate spawn. I always hate spawning at the ACAP side on Mountain Range. I feel like ACAP is not really consequential to the outcome of the game. Ultimately, I mean, it's nice to get a cap, it's nice to hold a cap, but B and C are just so much more valuable here. But our CV is doing a really, really good job right away, putting his fighters out over that Harikaze and harassing him with rockets, keeping him spotted, forcing him away from the cap. I see that there's only two BBs spawned over here. The red Iowa is making what I believe to be an enormous mistake by crossing the island chain and taking himself out of play for B and C. I'm looking at the mini-map. It looks very, very clear that we're going to have a very good chance of capping B early on. We definitely now have A. So instead of doing what I would normally do by moving somewhat more towards B, I'm going to help my team defend A, knowing that we're probably going to have B very, very, very soon. I completely whiff on all my torpedoes throughout this entire game. And that's, when you're using 55-kilometer-an-hour torpedoes at long range like this, you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss a lot. Really, to make the torpedoes effective on these ships, on the Benson in particular, you need to use line of sight, which is what I'm doing now. I know that the Tirpitz is about to hide behind an island, and I'm about to hide behind an island, and it's going to break line of sight and really make it hard for them to do damage on me as I open fire. I caught lucky, RNG, I got a fire right away. What I'm doing here is I'm turning away from the Tirpitz. I have 35 seconds before my torpedoes come back up. That's a long time before I'm able to really be an effective torpedo boat on this, make torpedo attacks on this Terp. And I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you he's running Hydro right now. And I'm just making him waste his Hydro. I let him run into those islands thinking that I'm going to come after him with torpedoes and run that Hydro so that I can go back in there and get him later. I don't. I do go back in there to get him, but I certainly don't get him with torpedoes. I'm looking at RPF here. I'm going to put some piss-off torpedoes out here. Try to keep that daring, well, try to keep him not so daring, and make him avoid coming into A cap. Our BBs do a really good job here too of not chasing these guys over into this absolutely trash area. There's just no reason to be over here for BBs. These guys here, you know, I don't mean to name and shame, but man, they're just not doing anything for their team.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Sailing over there. Our BBs are. They're engaging this Iowa. They're keeping this daring.
Torpedoes astern.
Keeping him afraid. And, you know, I'm pushing up to maintain line of sight and spotting on both of these ships. Just what I really do here. My role here is really, I'm just keeping eyes on everyone for both of those two BBs. They're just doing a great job for us at A, positioning themselves so that they can move across the island chain into B should the need arise. Staying bow on to any potential threats, and recognizing that these two guys over here really aren't a threat. They're just constantly behind islands. Their opportunity to strike is limited by virtue of the fact that they're half the time going to be behind an island. I'm going to move up on this Terp, try to get a little sneaky torpedo action in on him. Feast or famine with Benson. There are times when you can pull out of a match with 9 to 12 torpedo strikes and 4 kills. Most of the time, it's 0. Or at least it is with me. But what I'm really doing with Benson is, in this scenario, is I'm using my concealment.
Our team is taking the lead.
Apparently to run into islands. But no, I'm using my concealment to keep the BBs at A cap uncomfortable, keep them spotted, give our BBs over here a chance to deal serious damage, and then I just, using your guns in USNDDs, especially when you're bottom tier, you have to be so opportunistic with your chances to open fire.
Our victory
I know I'm going to
inside.
break line of sight on this Tirpitz when I pass behind the island. And that's when it's time to open fire. Really, I just really mitigated any chance for him to do damage on me. Start a fire on him. Make myself a very small profile, very hard target to hit. I avoid bringing my front guns to bear too often and showing broadside, because those secondaries are going to chew you up, man. I've got a fire up on the bow, so I've switched my aim to much further back on the ship. I get a second fire as a result. I'm just wearing him down here. Third fire, and that's going to kill him. So Tirpitz did absolutely nothing for his team there. It just really... he got caught in a bad position. He had to live with a bad choice. And so many BBs do this in this map, is they come down in this 1, 2, 3 lane, this 2 line. It makes no sense, guys. Look, BB guys, stop this. Stop this nonsense. This helps nothing. It's just a waste of everyone's time. Either you're contesting this cap, or you move across
Engine boost
and help your
activated.
team concentrate on these two. This is a runaway win for us. I didn't do any, records for damage on this one, but I did what I could to help us win. Thanks for watching.